The next European high-profile scooter startup, TIER. Please, Lawrence, come on stage. By the way, we do have a party. A lot of people ask, new location, is the party back? We have a party at the end of the day, so please stay around and get surprised. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marco. Hello, everybody. My name is Lawrence. My purpose in life is to fight climate change. And I do that by building businesses that disrupt consumer spaces. So with my first company that I founded, called Rebuy, back in high school, the mission was to give products a second life through repair and refurbishment. It turned out to be a success story. The company, when I left, was running at 200 million revenues. It gave around 100 million products a second life and gave jobs to 700 people and had a major impact on carbon footprint. I took a travel for about 1.5 years around the world, just a van and a surfboard, to see how the world develops over time in different countries. And I came back last year for my new mission, and that is TIER. So together with my two co-founders, Matthias, the co-founder of Lieferando, who was the youngest CTO of a listed company in Europe ever, when he sold his shares to Takeaway and stepped up to the global CTO, and also Julian, the co-founder of Coop. Our mission now is to change mobility for good. Why do we want to change mobility for good? Because we think that the current transportation system is broken. It's dominated heavily by cars. 65% of all kilometers traveled within a city in Europe is made by cars. Only 20% by public transport. So why do we think cars are not good? Actually, they have a huge negative impact on our cities, on us. So first, on the environment. It's the #1 cause and #1 emissioner of carbon footprint in our cities. Additionally, they also have fine dust emissions that hurts our lungs, our health. Third point is, they take a lot of space, which you could use for a lot of better things than just having cars in our streets sitting there. And the fourth thing is safety. They make up more than 85% of all severe accidents in our cities. So our belief is that the car ownership will be displaced over time. And there are massive regulatory changes in the European Union. Europe is pushing all our cities towards car-free cities. So I've been visiting about 20 cities, meeting the mayors of transportation in those cities, and their #1 enemy is cars. They don't want to have cars in their city. Second is, customer behavior changes a lot. So my generation and the younger generation, they don't want to own assets. All they want is access to mobility whenever, wherever they want. Third point is, it's probably the highest inefficient asset class. You buy it for 100%, you pay for 100%, but you only use it for 5%, because by 95% of the time, it just sits there and loses money. So the question is, if this market is so disruptive and cars will be displaced, what will happen to this market? I see 3 options currently on the market, 3 transportation modes. #1 is car sharing like Drive Now, Share Now. Second one is ride hailing like Uber. And the third one is micromobility like TIER. So if we look how big the disruption was to reach 2 million rides, Drive Now took about 4 years to reach 2 million rides. Uber took about 2 years to reach 2 million rides. TIER took about 250 days. So why is it so disruptive? Because micromobility has major advantages in our city. Number one is, it's just faster. People want to move. They don't want to be stuck in a traffic jam. They want to use a bike lane. They want to use parks. They want to go fast. I'm not talking about super fast. I'm just talking about moving. Second thing is cheaper. A ride on a scooter on Tier is a third of the price of using a car. The third one is it's better. That's why we actually founded this company, to decrease CO2 emissions, to make the life of people nicer and easier to move around, and we save a lot of space. So for the space of a car, you can stack actually over 15 scooters. So in this massive disruption of markets, and as you have seen, we are not the only company in this space. My belief is the cake currently is big enough for several players, at least a few. But at the end, you want to win, right? So let's compare us with the big guys like the Americans, Lime and Bird, and also Voy. And we achieved to get the 2 million rides faster than anyone in the space. And what the whole team is super proud of is that we did this with a fraction of the capital. So how did we achieve that if we just used a fraction of the capital? When I looked at the business from a unit economics perspective, so I come from e-commerce, all I look is at unit economics. You see that you don't have enough rides to pay off the scooter because the scooter breaks down after 30 days of other players. So we thought about how can we change that? When we looked into it, we saw that the scooters are being charged by gig workers, so in their private homes. I don't think this is like a marketplace where you have riders and gig workers taking the scooters back and forth. I believe in you have to own the operations. You have to see the scooters. Because otherwise you can't ensure the safety of the scooter, first of all, and you don't know what's happening if the scooter has a problem, like maintenance, repair, spare parts. This is nothing what a private person at home can do on the professional level. And that's why we professionalized the whole supply chain end to end, powered by technology. So all our scooters are getting picked up by our professional partners and us. So we take them from the street, take them in our warehouse, we check them, we repair them, we maintain them, and then bring them back to the street. This is a unique model. Second, you need technology beneath it. So we developed an app for the customers to book a scooter, but also we have an app for the repair and the maintenance and the spare parts. It sounds simple, it's pretty complex. The third one is the Ranger app, how we collect the scooters and how we will deploy them on the next day. So what are the results of this unique operation model? We have the best unit economics. That means we have the lowest operation costs. We have the strongest capital efficiency in the market because our lifetime is the longest because of our repair. And we're winning cities. And this is super important for sustainability. The cities don't want people who throw away the scooters after a month. So we started with scooters. We developed our own scooters with our own technology, launched 3 weeks ago. We're going to launch the next 2 weeks in Germany, our German scooters. But we're not just a scooter company. Our platform is built to operate any vehicle down the road in the future, because we have access to cities and to customers. And this is what you need to really build the #1 leading micromobility platform. Thank you.